Welcome to this video demonstration of Polyboard. This video is going to show you a basic overview of the Polyboard interface and the different menu options, and it will just give you a general feel for the software, and basically it's going to be an orientation around the different menus and what have you. And in later videos we'll show you more detailed about creating cabinets and layouts and other more advanced features. So if we look first, this is the main screen as you open up Polyboard. And so if we open up the file menu, so our two main options here are new project and new cabinet. A new project will open up a project which allows you to create a 3D space and allows you to generate new cabinets saved within a project, and as opposed to new cabinet down below, which opens up just a new cabinet. And the difference is that with a new cabinet, so you can save a cabinet on its own as a separate file on your hard drive. If you start a new cabinet within a new project, so then it'll be saved within the project file, and as such you can actually have many cabinets all saved within the project. Obviously, also the difference is when you're exporting cut lists and to the post processor for CNC machines. So when you have multiple cabinets in a project, whether or not you've actually created a 3D layout and positioned them or not, you can actually export all your cabinets in one go as a job lot. Whereas if you save it as a new cabinet, then you can export just the cabinet itself. Of course, though, opening up a new project, you can also add in cabinets that you've saved separately previously, so that's not a problem either. Okay, so the other option here, you've got post-processor options, which we'll come to at a later date. You've got the print setup, and you've got the standard recent projects, recent cabinets. You can quickly open up things that you've done before. You've got next the view menu. We'll come back to it in a minute when we open up some cabinets and some projects, so you'll see more about that. The cutting list, that too we'll come back to in a minute. The 3D basically gives you the 3D options, we'll come to in a minute. Libraries you should know before we get started into actually creating cabinets. So you need to set up your libraries. When you open up the demo version, you will have some basic materials in your libraries, so you can get started. But obviously you'll want to edit them and change them to suit what you do. So basically with the libraries, you have paneled libraries, which are your sheet material. And opening that up, you can set up any number of materials that you have. You can define a thickness for them and a price, descriptions, and you can give them also textures, which are essentially picture files. And Polyboard can actually render the picture on the cabinet itself. In a similar way, you have a library for edge materials. You also give a thickness for edging, so that when you apply edge to your cabinets, then it will take into account the thickness of the edge. The next two libraries are the bars materials. We'll come back to that later. It's essentially for when you use assembled parts. We'll come to it later. Then you also have panel structures. We'll come to it later when we get to structures. You have open and close curves. When you apply curves to parts, so you'll add in your curves into your libraries. And then you also have libraries for your hardware fittings, the rules for positioning the fittings, and also single panel fittings. Single panel fittings are hardware that only attaches to one cabinet at a time, one part of the cabinet at a time, and doesn't join two parts together. And then also manufacturing methods. Manufacturing methods and their sub-methods allow you to set predefined styles for what they call the box full, which is essentially the principal parts of your cabinet, the top, bottom, left side, right side. You also can set up styles for your materials, for your edge banding, for your hardware, and other properties of your cabinet. basically what this allows you to do is to set up predefined styles for various aspects of your cabinet, so that you can actually start a cabinet from scratch, drop in a manufacturing method, and in a very short space of time you've actually created your cabinet from scratch, without even resorting to a library. Of course, you can also create your own library, and you'll probably find as you go along that as you create different jobs, you'll be opening a previous job, making the required changes, then saving it as a new job. So you find your actual library will grow as you go along. But you also have this manufacturing methods concept that allows you to create parts from scratch and form your cabinets very quickly. It also applies when you make modifications to your cabinet, so that when you drop out shelves or drawers or doors or any aspects of your cabinet and you put in new ones, so they'll come in with according to the predefined manufacturing method that you've selected for that cabinet. The other few remaining items, so you've got tools. The main thing you should look at here is units. Make sure it's set to millimeters, and the surface, on the surface tab, you make sure it's set to square meters. It's generally the base unit that you will use. You've got language options, and that's about it. Let's open up now a project file. So I've clicked on new project, and now you can see that it's opened up in multiple windows. The main project view, we've got the properties on the right hand side, we've got a top view, front view, and a cabinets list. You may not have this on your screen because I've set it up like this, and when I exit the program it actually saves my setup, so that when I open up a new one it comes back with my previously defined setup. But if I close all these, so it might look similar to what you have. So if you just had the main project window, so then now I'll show you how to open it up. If we go into the view menu and we go into toolbars and docking windows, we want to always make sure we want our properties box open. So if we click properties, so it'll open up our properties box. If we go now back into toolbars, docking windows again, and we open up our cabinets list, now we've got our cabinets list. Now we also want different views of our cabinets. When we have our cabinet, we want to actually see what it looks like. So let's also open up let's say a front view. Okay. They've gone back into the positions where I previously set them, but I'll show you how to move them around. When you drag the title bar of a box, so you can see you can move it around the screen. And when you move it on top of another window, so if I move it on top of this project window, you can see these icons appear. Now if I move the mouse onto the top one, it will dock the current window that I was dragging to the top of the window that I moved it around to. So if I want to move it back to below the front view, so I'll click and drag the title bar of the cabinets list again. I'll move it over to the front view and you can see these icons appeared. And if I drop it on the bottom, so then it will dock to the bottom. And in that way, you can see I can move anything around. And if I can move it back there, and you can control what's view. So basically you need to make sure you've got your cabinets list in your properties box so you can see what you're doing. Let's open up now a new cabinet. If we right click inside the cabinets list, we get a menu, and we've got new or add. New will create a new cabinet, and add will add one that we've previously saved as a separate file, as I was discussing before. So let's go new, and our new cabinet dialog box opens up. We have a number of predefined cabinet styles. We've got the irregular box cabinet, the L-shaped cabinet, angle cabinet, and a free shape. Free shape is a very advanced topic. It allows you to create cabinets with any number of sides and gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of what your cabinet is. For the most part, the box cabinet, L-shape, and angle cabinet will cover basic needs in most kitchens. Down below, we can select method, the manufacturing method we want to start our cabinet from, like I was talking about before. We also have the parametric height, width and depth. In Polyboard, in general, all our cabinets are parametric, so that the only dimensions we really ever specify is the height, width and depth of the cabinet. All other dimensions are recesses and overlaps with regards to parts within the cabinet itself. Don't let this fool you though. You still have a lot of control over your cabinet, and you can create pretty much, mostly anything like that you'd want to create. And you'll see the power of this later on. You've got extra fields for the L shape and the angle cabinet, which you don't have for the box cabinet because they have sides. You also have the top, bottom, back, left and right sides. If you select no for any of these, you'll lose those principal parts. So often you won't want particular parts. I prefer not to change the values in here because this will change your default values, and every time you open up a new cabinet it'll revert back to what you changed over here. So let's leave it for now and we'll go OK. We won't actually get into editing a cabinet at this stage. I'll leave that till the next video. So bye for now, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next Polyboard demonstration video.